I'm not gonna lie, these puzzles have been pretty easy so far. Well done, you managed to stay hidden in the darkness and make it out. That's it, you solved it. Judging by the way you solved that puzzle, there's no doubt you must be the one and only Professor Layton. Of course, from the very start I had a fairly good idea it was you, Professor. From the very start you seem to have your doubts, Constable. Well, anyway, feel free to investigate as you wish, but there's one last thing. Yes? Later, when you go to free moment, would you mind signing my helmet? Are you sure that's allowed? Come on, Luke, let's take a look around before the constable changes his mind. Okay. Tell me, Luke, did you notice anything strange when we looked at the car? Anything strange? Well, to be honest, the entire accident is pretty unusual. Well, yes, but if we're to suppose this accident occurred naturally, there's one particular mark that should not be there. A mark that shouldn't be there? Ah. Professor, the handprint. There's a handprint on the bonnet. Well spotted, Luke. But a handprint of that size is too big to be left by a normal person. Indeed, it would almost appear to have been left by the hand of a giant. That's a bit far-fetched. Luke, let's look around a little more. There isn't anything in the park that grabs your attention. But, Professor, from here I can't see anything strange other than the car. In situations like this, we need to zoom in, Luke. Zoom in? In cases where something is too far away or is hidden behind another object, we can zoom in to see it more clearly. When you see something of interest, use the magnifying glass to look closer. When the magnifying glass turns blue, it means something important is there. By zooming in, we may be able to uncover some new clues. Okay, Professor, I'll zoom in right now. When the magnifying glass turns blue, just touch that area, right? That's right, Luke. Now then, let's give it a try. The heavy rain has made the ground very slippery. Okay. Whoa. Hi, the statue's hand. It's about the same size as the handprint on the car. Do you think the car hit that hand when it crashed? That's a possibility, of course. However, the handprint on the car is a right handprint, Luke. Oops. Right hand? But the statue's holding a spear in its right hand. Which means that couldn't be where the handprint came from. Quite right, my boy. And it would certainly appear that this is more than a simple traffic accident. I wonder what could have happened. If the handprint was made by the statue, surely the statue couldn't have moved? I'm positive there's some kind of secret behind this, and whatever it may be, we can be certain it's related to the witch that took Isabella. I think so too, Professor. How else could this kind of accident have occurred? If we investigate more closely, perhaps we'll find some clues. No, Luke, first we should head back to the inspector. Really? But all he seems to say is how unusual it seems. Well, yes. However, there's one more subject which I'd like to ask him about. What's that? Not what, my boy, but rather who. Who was in the car when it crashed? Ah. Alright, return to Chelmey. So, what do you think? It's no simple accident, is it? Excuse me. I'll bet this one's even surprised the great Professor Layton, hasn't it? Without a doubt, this is no ordinary accident. May I ask how the driver was? He wasn't seriously hurt. He's a real Jemmy Dodger, that one. In fact, we're about to take him into custody for questioning. Strictly private, I'm afraid. Inspector Chelmey. There's something I would like to know.
What's that then?
The driver's name. Was it by any chance Carmine Accidente?
Eh? How the devil? Where did you get that information?
Well, you could just say a little bird told me. Also, plot exposition earlier in the game told me that anyway. Here's something of an unlucky yet lucky type, always getting himself into trouble only to miraculously escape unharmed.
An acquaintance of yours, is he?
He attended my lectures a few years back. An outstanding student.
Is that so? But perhaps you should have lectured him on how to stay out of trouble. We've had our eye on him for some time. He's a bit of a maverick, that detective. Always sniffing out dangerous situations and poking his nose into trouble. Unlucky isn't the half of it. I tell you, I wasn't surprised to find him involved in this ruckus. Professor, that means this must be the incident in which Carmine was attacked.
Yes, it would seem so.
What's this? Know something I don't, do you?
No, nothing at all, Inspector.
I was hoping you might come up with something I could use. Never mind. Now I've got that detective. I may be able to wring something from him. I'd really like to know how such an accident occurred.
Inspector, just one other question. Is there any evidence to suggest that Carmine was not alone in that car?
What's that? Someone else in the car? No, there's nothing to suggest that.
Is that so? Well, was there anything else unusual about the accident that you haven't mentioned?
Anything else unusual? Not as far as I'm aware.
Wait a minute. We did see those strange people in Halloween costumes.
Huh? Oi, Barton, like I said before, I'll do the talking. Yes, Inspector. Sorry, Inspector.
These people in Halloween costumes. Can you tell me anything about them?
You're certainly persistent, Layton. To be honest with you, I don't think I had anything to do with it. We saw a group of them loitering around Tower Bridge. I decided to question them, but when I took my eyes off them for a second, they just disappeared. I wonder what in the blazes they were up to, wandering around dressed like that.
When precisely was this?
Just a moment ago, about the same time you went to the park. Halloween costumes? Professor, could it be?
I see what you mean. It seems we may have a lead.
Thank you for your help, Inspector. Now hold on, what's all this about? Well, we seem to have come to the right place, all right.
Yes, it would appear the witches have attacked Espella and Carmine in the park, before coming after Espella and abducting her from my office. Following that, they must have made their way from here to Tower Bridge.
We may still catch up with them if we hurry. Let's go! New destination added to the map, Tower Bridge.
Alright, another mystery.
The professor's former student, Carmine Accidenti, who gave Espella a letter for the professor, was involved in a car crash while they were being pursued by witches. What was he investigating in Labyrinthia?
The news of Carmine's accident came as a shock, but at least he survived. I would like to have discussed things with him.
Alright, so. Suspicious looking characters at the bridge. 3 hit coins, no hidden puzzles. Alright. Damn, that looks sweet. There's no one here.
This is puzzling. I normally expect to see more people here at this time.
It must be the bad weather. I guess no one wants to go out in this.
That could be it, although I'm also sensing something of a peculiar presence in the air.
Hey, Professor, don't talk like that. Whoa! The shit was that? I pooped my knickers. Whoa! That made me jump.
Luke, over there! Woo! Woo!
Woo! And disappear, bitch! I'm out of here. I'm gonna figure the fuck out of here. Yikes, what was that? I bet it was one of them. Professor, let's follow it.
Just a moment, Luke. There's something we should review before we go running off. The method of entering a building is a little different to that of regular movement. Sometimes, removing the magnifying glass during investigation mode, the cursor will change to a yellow arrow. This indicates a means of direct entry. You can also enter while in movement mode. Simply touch enter to do so.
Touch the yellow arrow in investigation mode or enter in movement mode, right?
That's it, my boy. Try not to forget. Alright then, let's make haste.
A new destination has been added to the map, Bridge Tunnel. Well, before we go in, we gotta look for those hidden coins. There's one.
Luke, we must follow the shadow that vanished further down the bridge.
Let's chase after the Professor of the Tower Bridge, Professor. Oh.
Alright, there's one more around here somewhere.
Got it. Alright, we got all 3 hint coins, and now we're ready to progress on and move into the tower. Cool.